evening, She Shackers, and thank you for tuning in for another night with conversations with me, A Queen from the She Shack. I am so excited to be breaking down this topic tonight, and the topic is breaking destructive cycles. And although, this seemed like a really big topic, we got Mr. Trench in here in the She Shack joining us to help bring some insight because this is a lot of estrogen, so we like to have some testosterone insight to breaking destructive cycles. And when I'm talking about breaking destructive cycles, we're talking about little bitty things. We can have little white lies that we are addicted to. You can have, cigarette smoking could be one, or having behaviors that can be damaging to relationships, friendships, marriages, partnerships, things of that nature. But before we jump right into the conversation, I want to remind you guys to check me out on YouTube, Conversations with the Queen, me. And listen, hit the like button, share and subscribe. Conversations with the Queen from the She Shack. We have some awesome videos and topics. It's full of laughter, knowledge, empowerment, inspiration. Check me out. Conversations with the Queen from the She Shack. I am so excited about what's happening, and it's all because of you. It's all because of your support. It's all because of your likes. It's all because of y'all shares. And don't forget, guys, we have some gift cards coming up. I think we agreed we was gonna do like $30 a piece. We was gonna do gift cards for those that bring about having a lot of likes and shares to YouTube, because he has tendency of forgetting stuff, especially when money is attached to it. But you hosted $150 worth.
Hold on. Backtrack from the beginning of your introduction. What you said about me?
What?
About me coming in here?
Bringing some testosterone to an estrogen-filled room. Because this is the She Shack.
Alright. We gonna take over. That's what that is.
It's not going to be any taking over in the She Shack. There's definitely going to be some conversation. Oh, and guys, I have a special She Shack Friday with an amazing, when I tell y'all amazing, you do not want to miss this show. Her name is Shireen Primus, and she is the creator of The Zone Fitness. She lost naturally, guys. No surgeries, nothing. Naturally lost, I believe it's 100 pounds. Naturally, she lost 100 pounds, and she hosts online fitness, very affordable. I want you guys to tune in. She is going to be here with me right here in the She Shack. We have a special She Shack on Friday with Shireen. Guys, she's known as here? Yeah, she coming here, and she's known as Mean Ring, because she is the epitome of consistency. So if you're looking to find out some more information about health, about wellness, about fitness, you do not want to miss our show on Friday night at 7 o'clock. Shireen will be here in the She Shack with us, and I'm so excited about. Listen, I know she's going to get on me because I was supposed to already be joined in, and I haven't joined in yet, but I got to hurry up and do it before she get here on Friday. So at least I can be like, girl, I got to start. I started with joining. So, hey, check her out. The Zone Fitness on Instagram. She's on Facebook. She is an amazing inspiration. I can't wait for you guys to meet her. So we're going to jump right into the conversation, and the topic of tonight's show is breaking destructive cycles. And so I found it like, I'll bring you back in here because you the king of destructive cycles.
Damn! Ain't that messed up? How I'm the king of destructive cycles? I'm destructive, though, you trying to say?
Okay, let's talk about the no filters.
That's destructive? That's honesty.
No, it's sometimes everything is not made to be just blurted out. Sometimes you can say things that hurt people's feelings.
But, I would say so.
I'm desperate to hear what your point of view about all this is.
Well, people know I'm straightforward. I don't have no filter, so I say exactly what I say. People ask a question, You want me to say, wait a minute, you want me to lie to you? You want me to give you a little cushion first? Or just come on out and say
Sometimes
it?
I do think that it's okay, like it's like a good icebreaker. You say things that could be, comical but true. But then other times you can say things that's true. It is comical, but it also can hurt a person's feelings. Like, I don't want to name any names, but I do remember a time when we had family and friends over, and this one particular friend had something different about them, and you thought it was hilarious, and it was a very sensitive topic for them.
Oh shit! Well, she knew that before. He or she knew that before they came to the house. That I was gonna say something, or I was gonna notice it, and I said something.
But don't you think that it could be at times those kinds of not having a filter could literally, like, it could bring like destruction to relationships or make people feel uncomfortable about coming around.
True that. But then I gotta put on a fake me. I can't be me.
No, I mean, what's wrong with being a little polished and a little filtered and not just,
I'm polished and as filtered as I'm gonna get.
Oh my God.
I mean, so it is what it is. I mean, you don't like.
Are you a racist?
No. Somebody say I was a racist. I know 3 white people live right next door to me. How racist?
3 of them.
That's what the racist white folks say.
But if you can count them on your fingers, that make you a racist.
I count on my fingers the friends I got. So I mean, I don't like black people.
How many? But no. But you
my
said no.
circle is
We didn't
small.
say friends. We said no. You can't count on your fingers how many black people you know. But you said you got 1, 2, 3. I got 3 white people stay right next door to me.
I could if we counting white people I know a bunch of them. Racist.
But don't you think that's like destructive? Like,
How is it destructive?
literally-
Knowing what they are and who they are.
That behavior, that's a destructive behavior.
By telling them that they're racist, let them know.
No, that
don't
just
try
being
that
a
bullshit with
racist
me.
period is like a destructive behavior.
All right, if they're racist, then you got to call them on it. They're being racist.
But we're talking about.
But I would warn them too. I say, listen, that's a racist comment, and then they'll say something. I say, all right, well, you racist. That simple.
So, I mean, you hear the term redneck. Redneck means what? Like a white man that doesn't like black people? Is that what that means? Or a white person that doesn't like a black person? Is that what that thing means? Because we was in a breakfast plot, and they had this little thing up there.
I'm practicing my filter. I have no comment on that.
No, I'm like, I don't know the answer to that.
A redneck to me, how can I say it politely? It could be.
You gotta be polite now. Now we remember, like when we get a she shack.
Because y'all been saying I've been racist and all that stuff. I'm talking about.
Well, honestly, you want to tell the truth about who said you was racist? Do you really want to say it?
Put that person on blast. Who said it?
Who no? You're
Now
not gonna get me. I'm not afraid. Honestly, you was the person that said my mom said I'm a racist. That's what you said.
Oh, but your mama said no white people call themselves rednecks.
Oh, well, who calls them that? We're just trying to get down to the root of the point that it's a behavior. It's a destructive behavior. It's a cycle, like generational.
What, rednecks destructive behavior?
Like if you're calling people out of their name or judging somebody by the content of by the color of their skin, you don't even know them, and you're like, I don't like her, or I don't like him, or I hate him, or I hate her, and you don't even know them.
I wouldn't do that. Say if I don't know them, say I don't like them. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt, get them okay, we have a conversation, everything like that, and I make that determination for myself. I find it straight high schoolish when you got one of your friends, just because one of your friends don't like that person, now you don't like that person. I think that's so high schoolish.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where you're rearing and bringing your babies and children up to like dislike a person because of the color of their skin, or when we talking about like destructive cycles, or it could be something as small as teenage pregnancy, like that's gonna be some people say that's a generational thing. One person, every woman in the family have a kid by the time they 17, or
Is
every
that bad
baby.
or good?
And it all depends on like how your point of view, how you looking at it. But if I had to, rewind my time, I'm pretty sure I would not have had 3 kids at 19.
Well, here's a question.
But I don't know if it was a generational cycle at the time, but I do feel, I feel better. I feel that the opportunities are better for my girls, that they weren't teen moms,
Right. So I guess that phase, we broke that.
That's a cycle.
You know what I mean?
But if you're like, it's like, how do you break, okay, for example, if the mom, the grandmama, the mama, the daughter, they all, or the whole family, they all living in the projects. Who's gonna do something better? Or you understand what I'm saying? Like trying to break a cycle that's like really like a dark cloud of like you're not excelling to get past to the next thing.
My question would be: is it really?
I don't know, guys. Am I bugging?
Is it really a cycle if the parents, their upbringing is all that they know?
What is this?
You don't like it? She got wine she don't like.
We gonna turn the label on that. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this. This is different. It's sweet though, but it's definitely not sweet, bitch.
You used to like it though. But yeah, is it just the idea that the way the parents was raised and all they know is for X, Y, and Z to try and instill that into their kids because that will work for them. Even though time's changing, they're not adapting. So is that really a destructive cycle, or is that just the elders teaching other people?
I don't know. Like, I think you getting a little. Listen, I feel like this. If the daddy, the son, and everybody, like, there's been times where the dad, the brothers, the father, everybody's locked up at the same time. And there's some kind of like cycle to that. There's got to be like some kind of somebody have to break the cycle of getting arrested, of hustling on the corners, or having addiction in your family. Like there are like cycles destructively.
In that same scenario with the grandfather, the daddy, and the brother all in jail. The grandfather might know all he knew is the violence or whatever that got him in the jail. So he taught that to his son. And his son like looked up to his dad like, okay, yeah, well, all right. Yeah, I saw how much respect he got on the streets in X, Y, and Z. So I need to be as strong as he is.
So who breaks the cycle then?
But is that a bad cycle? Because that's the way they know. That's what they learn.
Just because that's the way you know it, that don't mean that that's the right way. Like everybody is now in the system. Like nobody is doing anything.
So you're not
a contributing like a contributing person to society, because no one who's going to decide to break the cycle to do something better than worrying about getting a street reputation or
that's what they was taught.
Like,
that's what they taught.
But again, it's still about breaking that cycle. That still is a destructive lifestyle. Like if the life that you're leading is ultimately landing you in the penitentiary. It landed your dad, it landed your granddad, it landed your brother, it landed your uncle, it landed your auntie or whoever. When are you going to figure out, or when is someone in that generational line going to figure out that this is something that we need to do differently?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if when you get to that point of, you feel like, how? Where are the resources? Like, where do I learn how to do something differently? Where do I get the resources that I need so that I could do whatever? I know the system is corrupt, and then, they pushing kids through, and, no child left behind. So a lot of people coming through the educational system, they can't even read. They're like, illiterate. Mm-hmm. So it's like, where do we begin with breaking, these kinds of destructive cycles? Like, seriously.
That was a parable or a quote or something when it was talking about when if the grandfather has a Benz or something like that, his kid gonna have a Maybach, and then his kid gonna have a Bugatti, and then that next kid will be on the bus because of that cycle. I mean, so I don't know if it's because of time and how they teach each other or how they grow. But yeah, I agree with you. Somebody got to start a change in what they do as far as how they doing it. As far as once somebody realizes that, okay, well, it's you get better. Yeah, you is getting wealthy and everything else, but how is it structured? And you got to keep revisiting as time change. Am I making sense?
I mean, you got a point there. Preaching.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I could preach. I could preach now. You want me to start preaching?
No.
Put me a little this wine together.
I definitely don't want you to do that.
Let me drink this wine and get some of my damn bourbon that's back there, and brandy. I'm sorry, brandy. I could preach. I'll preach for you.
So
how many minutes we
listen,
got?
I was actually reading an article today about LeBron James and Drake. Did you hear about how they bought this thing? They bought a soccer team.
That's big.
It's huge. Like, they didn't typically buy it by themselves, but just thinking
The
about
majority
how they
own
can
it.
collaborate, like how they was able to collaborate, come together, make a good financial investment, and they the company that they're like invested in purchased a soccer team that also is invested in like the Boston Red Sox and all of this kind of stuff.
He won't get no shares of that. Boston
like,
racist as hell.
It's like worth like $1.7 billion.
I'm sorry, I can't say Boston's racist as hell. I don't know Boston Red Sox, so I don't know if they're racist as hell. Shit, Boston racist as hell. That whole, if you live in Boston, you're racist.
Whatever.
How about that?
You know, some people say our team not gonna do good either. You talking about like Boston, whatever. They talking about the New Orleans Saints, baby.
Your mom ain't gonna do no good. Don't mess with my Saints. Who that? We all the way this year. Sleep
They
on
said
if you
the Saints
want.
have seen their better days already.
All right. Whatever.
And I heard that Atlanta is gonna whoop their asses. That's what I heard.
They got 3 minutes and 28 seconds to holler about that. That's all. That's an inside joke. Don't worry about that.
Oh,
That's
I
what-
don't. I don't know much.
28-3 was when they thought they was gonna win that Super Bowl a couple of years ago. And on that.
This is not ESPN news.
Oh shit! You brought up sports.
Well, I just thought I would throw it in there because you know the whole Red Sox and the soccer team and all of that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay, all right.
Also,
I'm talking about Dirty Birds.
something else I saw in the news I thought maybe might be a little bit interesting. I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but did you hear about the water problem?
It's your she-shack.
I know what this is.
All right, what about it? What you talking
So
about?
anyway, did you hear about the water problem and they calling it like environmental racism, like something I never even heard of before?
Is it close to like what they had like in Flint, Michigan or something like that?
I don't know if it's comparable to Flint, Michigan, but as of recent, maybe like 4 or 5 days ago, the people in Jackson, Mississippi had no water. No running water, no water to bathe, no water to drink. Like, and apparently they've been having a issue in the more poverty, or less fortunate areas.
So the hood didn't have no water. They ain't had no clean water. That's what you're trying to say?
I don't know if it was just the hood. Maybe the trailer parks didn't have no water either.
Who lives in the trailer parks?
I'm just saying, maybe they didn't have no water. Maybe they had no. Why you gotta make jokes about everything? Like, maybe they had no water for real. Maybe they had no water.
Not trailer parks.
This is a serious.
But the trailer
topic.
park's probably the only one that had water because they use well water. So their water they come from the state that's messing up like that. So that might be different.
But you can't drink well water anyway.
If you go
gotta
down-
boil it.
No, if you go down deep enough, into the well. The well, if the drill go down far enough, the further it go down.
You know how expensive enough for them to get that far enough down and
listen,
to get some well water to be drinkable?
It's probably, I mean, I'm not sure, but I'm sure it's probably, I'm not sure, but I'm sure. Wow. It's probably a mandate. It's probably laws that what's the mandatory depth that they got to go anyway when you setting up a well or something like that, because they got to drink their water, they got to wash their car with that water, they got to take a bath in that water, so they got to go certain deep. But the depth that you go, the deeper you go, the more drinkable the water be.
Okay. Yeah, and still.
So trailer parks might be the best spot to be at the time.
I don't think so.
But I would wonder, my question
is... And what makes you think all trailer parks got well water? I know people that live in trailer parks and they got no well water. Like, you know.
You sure about that?
Yes.
Well, how they getting their water?
Well, we had no... I lived in a trailer and we had no well.
How you got your water?
Out the sink.
How that water got to the sink?
I don't know, Mom. We had a well because I don't think so. I ain't never seen nobody...
It's not your personal well. It might be a well for the whole community, and the water comes up that way, dispersed by pipes to different trailer parks. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we had water.
If they had a connection,
like you turn the faucet on and water.
Yeah, that's running water, but it comes from the well. I'm sure the trailer parks. The trailer parks. I'm sure you drive your house up to a certain spot, and they got to hook up. You drive your house to a certain spot. Why
is this so funny to you? Because I'm really talking about, it's a serious topic.
Because you really don't drive a trailer, but you drive your trailer to a certain parking spot, and you flatten the tires and put it on blocks, cinder blocks, and you hook up your attachments from the public, the gas, electric, is a little hooked to it. But that water is coming from...
Okay, well, I don't know where the water... But what I do know is that I was reading that the people in Jackson didn't have... They didn't have water, period. There was no water. And then when it was water, prior to, they didn't have water that was qualifiable to drink. And apparently, additionally to that, they have been having warnings that the water was unsafe, and what they call a boil water warnings, where you have to boil the water at a certain temperature for a certain length of time to be able to do anything with it. To wash your clothes, to cook, to anything. They said that the water itself wasn't safe.
I would wonder if...
Why do you keep checking that phone?
Because this is us. I'm looking at some of the comments so I can reply and tell you what the comments are saying.
Oh, okay.
I would think that if the government controls that, I kind of believe that the government controlled it. Reason why I would say that is
this is what they calling. They calling it environmental racism, like targeted to a certain group. They say it's 150,000 people in Jackson, Mississippi. 150,000 people in Jackson, Mississippi that did not have qualifiable water to do anything with. You couldn't wash, they couldn't bathe, they couldn't drink, they couldn't nothing. Water.
The reason why I would say that because Jackson State, where Deion Sanders coach at, he ain't say nothing about no water. And them jokers playing football like it's yesterday. So they bathed it and they drinking it. They ain't had no problem with water. And that's in Jackson, Mississippi. So they got water in the hood and the trailer park don't have no water.
No, what's even more disturbing to me is, why isn't this like beaming, flashing lights all over CNN, NBC, all this other kind of stuff? You hear about all this other stuff, but then when it's something that people don't have healthy or don't have, water.
Well, you know why?
But they get billed for it though. They still got to pay a water bill, but they don't have water.
Well, you know why? And it's our fault as a unit because we voted them people into office that
destructive cycles
that not gonna comment on, that's not gonna fight for it. So They got voting this November for them same.
Oh, they got a
people.
voting coming up September the 13th where you got to start voting locally for the people, the judges, the aldermen, and all of that stuff. So
Right.
again, we're talking about these cycles, the same cycles
councilmen,
that people
the
have.
same.
Cycles like our, and I don't want to just make it seem like badgering on our people, but
Right.
our people need to get up and go vote at these
Yeah.
little small elections that make the big difference. You ever heard the saying about it's always the little things that have the greatest impact?
Right.
It is the little things like these judges, because you know what, when your
Or
son or your
maybe-
daughter or you get into a traffic accident or have some kind of incident, it affects someone in your family, and there's a judge and you saying that judge racist as hell, but you had last September, you had the opportunity to get his behind off the bench that's been sitting there for 15 years.
Well, maybe they it might be a political thing because, like I said, they got an election coming up. This shit going on, so now you might as well. They probably making the politicians look bad, so you can vote them out. Come along, and everybody vote them out, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So it could be that way because I don't know why the politicians not complaining about it, especially the congressman, the local congressman of the district congressman saying anything
We
about
talking about Mississippi. We talking about Mississippi here. Let's not forget what we talking about.
it. M.I. Crooked letter.
Racist ass I.
You calling them racist?
Yes!
Do you know them like that?
Listen, I used to live in Osaka, Mississippi, by way of Kentwood, Louisiana. I know how racist they are. Like
And
firsthand.
they complain about me being racist.
Oh, you think that was a racist statement because I'm identifying?
Yo, I like your blingage, A Queen.
Thank you.
It's cute. I like it.
Thank you. A-Lux Jewels, hook me up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Also voice crystals and carrying on. It's real cute.
Yeah, you like how you color coordinate everything.
Yeah, all
that.
like pink and brown and
Yeah, I see that shit.
Cute, right?
Oh shit! Rub that lady down there. Girl,
Get your hands off
girl.
me.
Girl.
Y'all see this mess?
We still on the show. My bad.
Looking all cinnamon and carrying on. I was going for cinnamon. I was going for cinnamon chocolate or something or
Let
another.
me see what it tastes like.
No.
Get a
No.
taste of it.
Mom! You see what
Why
he
you
be?
calling your mom?
No,
What
because
your mama gonna do?
you remember when we was over her house earlier today and she was saying, "Oh, I just can't believe Trench talks so much."
You
And
just tell all our business, huh?
oh no, this is your business. This is definitely. Listen, She-Shackers, I'm gonna tell y'all something. He has had my mom fooled. When I say food, he's had her fooled for the almost 30 years. She said, "Oh no, I don't believe he said any of that. Oh no, I don't believe he did any of that." And then we over her
And
house.
she was
today.
right. She was right.
No.
You set me up for half the time, 3/4 of the time, 90% of the time. You set me up.
So if you fall for the setup, don't that mean you got a destructive cycle?
Okay. Touche.
Touche, huh?
And you set me up, though that mean you got a destructive cycle?
No, I'm not. I don't have a destructive
Oh, you
cycle.
just gonna set me up
I'm
like
very inquisitive.
all right.
Inquisitive, inventive, and all that stuff. Excuse me, I gotta fix my clothes. I want my boots.
Let them girls stay in there where they belong. But anyway, what else we got going on about this destructive cycle?
Well,
how do you break it? We ain't talking about how we break it.
First of all, we ain't even really addressed some of the destructive cycles I want to talk about, like the destructive cycles of y'all black men toward us black women.
How in the hell is us black men towards y'all black women?
Well, let's talk about how these black men keep leaving behind these babies that they ain't taking care of. Being deadbeats.
How about it's the black women? Let's talk about these black women that's stopping.
Watch it.
Let's talk about these black women that's stopping these black men from taking care of their babies.
How is a woman gonna stop you from taking care of your baby? How's she gonna say? What she gonna say? I don't want none of the money. You keep all the money. I don't want any of the money. Don't take care of your child. Come on.
Some of them be like, you ain't giving me enough. You ain't seeing your child.
Well, it's up to him. Just like she went down there and got your behind on
But that do happen though, right?
I mean, how often is that really happening?
Some be like, you with this chick? My child would not be nowhere near this chick. If you with this chick, you can't see your child. Some of them bitter women be the same way.
some bitter women out there.
So I mean,
But,
you can't always just
more,
say that guy ain't seeing the seed.
But it's still a cycle of like y'all keep leaving these kids behind. Even if you gotta do what you gotta do to be there for the child. Maybe it's not the idea of
leaving kids behind. It's picking them bitter women.
Why is always got to be the woman? Why is it always the woman?
From the last example I just used.
It ain't just always the woman. I don't think these women becoming bitter.
I understand that.
No, but I know. What do you understand? How do you think these women becoming bitter?
Whatever the case is.
No. Let's be specific. How do you think these women are becoming bitter?
Because they're getting what they want, the way they want it, and how they want it.
You kicked out the she shack. you kicked out the she shack. Listen, I'm sick of y'all asking for him to be on the she shack. He's getting kicked out the she shack. Did you hear that? Seriously? What did they say in the comments to that foolishness?
Think about it. I just used an example. He got a new girl, and the woman being so bitter, being mad that he done left her to a new girl. She like, well, no, since you got this chick on your side, I don't like her, so my son cannot be around her no matter what. This and that. So now she being bitter.
Why do you think you think the woman is just bitter because
but they have nothing to do with the child.
Hold on a minute though. Hold on. Right is right and wrong is wrong, and just be fair. Because at the end of the day, if you are invested in a relationship and you and this man or you and this woman, y'all are building, y'all most likely live together or something, and you make a child, even if you don't live together. But at the end of the day, I do agree that somebody have to be the bigger person. But if she done found you cheating and dogging and all this and all of that, no, it's not the kid's fault. But what is she supposed to do when you flaunting this chick in her face and the emotions is still very raw.
But what they got to do with the kid? What they got to do with the kid?
You got to step up and be a man. Like, you know that what you did was wrong. At least try to make it right. At least go to this woman and apologize to her. Be a man. Stand up about what you did. Try to make amends at least for the best of your child. But you get around. And the other thing is, men like to play with women's emotions. You get, tell them what you want them to hear for the moment so you can get what you want. Stop sleeping with your baby mom if you know you don't really still want to be with that girl. Stop doing that. Stop telling her, oh girl, you know I love you, but you bouncing around from this one and this one. Now you got a baby here, and a baby there. Like, come on. That's a cycle. That's a destructive cycle where you planting seeds here. You got 5, 6, 7, 8 baby mamas.
You tell me that baby mama wouldn't have known that you playing and
a lot of times they don't. I'm not saying that but a lot of times they don't know. When they find out, like, damn, he got 200 kids.
But what I'm saying about is, let's go back to the beginning. What I was saying was that just because you mad at that man because of his new side piece, his new lady,
woman, whatever. Mm-hmm.
Now she don't want you to see your son.
Now that's a part of breaking the cycle. Like, everybody got to grow up.
Right. So and whether she bitter at him for whatever reason he did her, however dirty he did, whatever case it be, she mad at him. So she figured that, okay, the reason I hold her against him is just to get back at him. So now you ain't seeing your child. So that in that situation, that's not the man's fault that he ain't seeing his kid. Even though he should put them white folks on.
You can do whatever. If it's that important to you and you really want to see your child, like, it's different. Like, sometimes, it's better for the kid not to be around the dad. Like, in a case like, I'll use my own self for example. I wasn't raised by my biological father.
I think it's always important to be around your biological father. It's up for that child to make that decision. Okay, I don't want to be like my daddy, or I want to be like my daddy, or I notice why my parents, whether male or female, not messing with my mama or daddy, and they know it, they see it, they feel it, and they understand it. Mm-hmm. So you got to bring into that fold no matter what. You're like, okay, well, I ain't gonna talk bad about your mama or your daddy. You see for yourself. I just got to be there to support you when you come around. Okay, mama treat me like this here, daddy treat me like this here. I got to be there to support it.
Right.
That's what I think.
Right.
I don't think because it could backfire. It could backfire. You could don't want him to go see his daddy, and it could be the idea that you just being bitter, and then he turned 14, 15, and he finally see that okay, I was trying to see I was trying to see my seed, but your mother wasn't having it. Look, his receipts showing I was trying to see you.
I understand.
Now he's mad both ways.
I'm not saying all men or all women, all single women are bitter, all all men with kids are deadbeats. I'm not saying that, but statistics is what they are, and you can see, you can look around, especially in the hood where you see a lot of single parents, no daddies around. Or that this dude, he hanging around the hood, but he got, 3, 4, 5 kids running around here. It's like at the end of the day, like, where does it end? When will there be a time where this cycle of destruction, because that's literally destroying families, that's destroying communities, that's destroying, when a man is not present. When that man, that male figure, that role, that impact that a man has on his household, when you're not present, when you're leaving, when that alone is destructive. And we see the residual effects of what it is. I think that's how gangs get into play. That's how you see kids out here, young ladies being promiscuous and looking, for love through older men because things is missing.
How can you say that when you got the 26 raising a kid?
I'm sorry?
How can you say that when you got the LBGT, the 26 alphabets, when they got a kid, you got 2 women raising a child, and so a man is not present. So how do that?
They still, but I believe, this is what I believe. I don't know how it actually functions in same-sex marriages, but you see less you see those kids thrive. You see those kids do well in community. I think because mostly they make sure that these kids are culturally balanced. They make sure that these kids are balanced. They get therapy. Yeah, they get what they call people, mentors, all kinds of stuff. So at the end of the day, I'm not saying that a woman and a woman can't raise a kid, or a man and a man can't raise a kid. I don't have no feeling about it.
No,
but
I just say that
a child is raised. Because you need. I personally believe this is my belief. This is how I believe that there need to be 2 parents, and typically in a typical little box or whatever, the way we was taught in the common America, you had a man and a woman, but now it's a man and a man, a woman and a woman. However it is, you got 2 parents in there invested in those children, rearing them, showing them, directing them, and giving them a better pathway to success than a single mom that's working 2, 3 jobs. She's trying to pay the rent, pay the cars, to take care of the kids, pay for childcare. She don't have time. You don't have time to be there as much as you would like to be there to help the kids with their homework, or to make sure that they, behaving in school like they're supposed to, whatever the case may be.
So I guess the right comment would be, instead of another male figure, just a good partner that's assisting in the upbringing of a child.
We can say good partners, but I'm talking about men.
Why y'all always on these men? Men, we doing fine. We doing just fine. Woo! We doing all right.
Y'all doing better. I'm not gonna go as far as fine. And the reason why I'm gonna say that, because we see our men dying every day in our neighborhoods. Getting struck down.
That's what the media is showing.
That ain't just what media is showing. That's what these kids are seeing. You ride down any block in Philly, and you're not gonna hit at least one corner with some teddy bears and shit. People are really dying out here in these streets.
Yeah, but that's not just...
We losing our men to homosexuality. We losing our men to mass incarceration.
Same as women.
Yes. But listen, we're talking mass incarceration, where we're talking about it is in a collective effort to incarcerate black men. And y'all not making it any better because you keep getting locked up.
Well, I always say that the system, white people, government, the government. Stop saying white people because there is some black politicians that is a redneck. But anyway.
Before you say that, did you know that Michael Jordan was one of the #1 investors in the penitentiary in the penitentiary system?
And what's the problem? And what's the problem?
What? You know what's going on with mass incarceration, but you're gonna be like investing in it some more. Like the whole. You remember when prison system became privatized? When they're not even like really, the state people don't even really have like no control over what's going on in there.
I'm gonna say something a lot of people might not like.
Oh Lord, let me take a drink because if you say a lot of people not gonna like it, I'm probably gonna be one of them.
Business and feelings don't go together. Meaning
We're talking about your people being affected.
Meaning that if you make a business decision thinking business wise, it's okay. But if you make business decisions based on your feelings, that business will not prosper. In saying so, if Michael Jordan made all his business decisions, his only letting McDonald's and Gatorade endorse him, only letting investing in the prison or whatever else, and only having certain people, only have Nike as an endorser. If he'd have made that investment on that decision on his feelings, as far as letting, okay, well, I'm gonna let more than Gatorade and McDonald's, or I'm gonna charge people because I like them. My feeling is I'm gonna charge my service $100,000 instead of $1 million. He would not be a successful business person as he is now. People got to stop mixing people business with their feelings.
I don't think it's about feelings.
That's a business decision he made.
No, I feel like at the end of the, you can be a great business person and still not compromise your morals and your ethics as it relates to in an overall sense. Like, where is your morals and your ethics when you see what's happening amongst your own people? And you're going to go and invest in it?
But it's not.
So it's more about the money than less about the ethics and the morals. Is that what you're saying?
Prison is not just about black people.
But mostly minorities is in prison, though. Mostly minorities are there.
Well, mostly minorities are there. Okay. But I'm looking at the big picture. It's the whole United States. Prison is prison. You in prison because you done something wrong.
So you don't see nothing wrong with mass incarceration because everybody that's in.
I do got a problem with mass incarceration. Yes, I do. How do you fix it? I don't know. How can you fix it? Because if you don't have mass incarceration, if you don't have incarceration period, then will the crime rate go down or will it increase? Will it be more safe for kids to go to school or will it not be that safe? If people
I'm not saying get rid of the judicial system, but I mean,
so
we all know
will always be there.
We all know that this judicial system is crooked as hell, and it's not even like it targets people of color.
And here's what we don't know: what prison is he invested in?
It don't matter. It doesn't. What you mean? Which one? So we gonna say, he's in the state of Illinois. He's investing in that prison.
So suppose he weigh in South Dakota, where it's 99% white, and they got mass incarceration up there.
Who cares what prison it is?
Is that an issue?
You're supporting something that ultimately is targeting your culture of people.
But how is our targeted people? How is the black people being targeted in South Dakota if it's 99% white? I just use an example. I could be wrong. I am wrong with the percentage.
Because I know it ain't 99. There ain't no 99% white nowhere.
I'm just saying I'm just saying when that prison system is predominantly white, and
I
that's
feel
the
like
one
I
who
need a
invested in.
drink and a joint. You hear me?
Well,
A drink and a joint. Cause this is crazy.
like I said, people ain't gonna like the idea of business is business. Now there's some morale to it, but business is business. And when you
Would
look
you
at the
invest in the prison system?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be my husband investing in no damn prison system. I tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, I disagree.
Tell you that.
I disagree with the.
I tell you that.
I disagree.
I tell you that.
Money is.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Go ahead on and invest and give me 50% of your earnings, okay? Because you won't be the husband no more.
You like how I said that so fast.
Like money is money. I heard what you said. These ears working just fine today, baby.
You can hear the thing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, people gotta get the feelings out of business. I mean, you got
I still think you can make money and still feel good about yourself at the end of the day. But I just don't know, because I mean, I'm not Michael Jordan. I'm not a millionaire. I don't know. But what I feel like moving into something where, you know, you're earning better than you were before or whatever the case may be, I still feel like you can make good, sound decisions that you don't have to compromise your morals, your ethics.
If that's the case, everybody should not like any politician. A lot of more than majority.
I don't think nobody like politicians. It's choose which devil you think you can deal with.
We all love Obama.
I think
what's the chick the head of the house that oh, I can't talk about her. The head of the house that Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi.
Don't you talk about Nancy. Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
You know she crooked.
No. You ain't gonna talk about Nancy on here.
When she handling white folks, she don't got nothing on white folks.
Listen, you ain't talking. Listen, you ain't gonna. I don't care. Now, call me biased. Call me what you want, but you talk about Nancy on this shit.
I know she get one more face job. She gonna be old.
It's gonna be over with.
I ain't gonna talk.
It's gonna be over with. Burt Reynolds too.
I can't talk.
Burt Reynolds look more plastic than plastic. Ooh, I said that on live.
You said that on live.
They gonna definitely not let me.
She Shack blocked.
She Shack is out with. You can't talk about Burt Reynolds.
Not Burt. You can talk about Nancy, but not Burt.
Woo! You know that's true though. You know I ain't lying. They know they don't want to talk. They don't want to say it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
But yeah, I mean that's business side of it. I mean, the sad part is, I'm learning that business, you're going to ruffle some feathers no matter what when it's time to invest your earnings. Once again, you can't tell me, not you. You run the show. You run everything on me. Another person can't come and tell me.
You know what?
Another person can't tell me how.
You ain't slick. I heard what you said.
How I should or how I will be spending my money, or how I'm doing what I'm doing.
You right.
So if you want to get mad, you want to get mad at how I'm doing my money, that's your issue. That's your issue. That's not my issue.
My thing is this: we know what you're doing, but yet we still going out standing in these lines, spending $200, $300, $400 on your sneakers. So at the end of the day, I'm not saying that we don't have accountability in it.
Here's the crazy thing with Jordans. Well, not using Jordan, let's use Apple. Apple products. All right.
Listen, hold on. You ain't gonna be talking about these people. Don't you know that I'm depending on these people for endorsements?
All right. But we all about growth and breaking.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Can we not be calling the names though?
The hell with them. You got Apple product. You might pay $1,500. We will say something for an iPad. It might be wrong. I'm off, but we use simple numbers.
I love iPads.
We pay $1,500 for an iPad, and that's what we paying for. So now we paid that much, but how are we benefiting from it financially wise? If we could take that same 1,500 and bought a share of Apple, now we're making money off of our money. So
whoa. I understand the example, but I don't really think that's a great example. And the reason why is because you can use an Apple product to make money. Because you can use an Apple product to invest. They got things on there, iMovies, like what we're doing now. We're able to go live using these products.
Let's use tennis shoes. We spend $200, $300 for a pair of tennis shoes, Jordans, that we wear, not want to crease the sole and everything else. We just buy Jordans for fashion, whatever the case may be. You could take that same $200-$300 and bought a share of Nike, bought a share of Jordans. As much as us black folks buying them Jordans, that profit, that stock is going up. Now, instead of buying some of that $200-$300 on Jordan, you put that money into a share. Eventually, it turns into a whole share, however much Jordan share is or Nike share is. So now you're growing. But some of us don't see it that way. We rather show it instead of pocketing it.
No, I agree. I agree. Now that I 1,000% agree with. And I believe that comes. Yep, that's a part of. But that's a part how you break that cycle is that you have to become aware of like financial literacy and investments and things like that. And sometimes the way that we do those things is our kids gotta learn. And I don't know if they're doing it now, but I know when we was in school, they wasn't teaching us about the stock market or investments or savings, bankings, that kind of stuff. That's why it's so important that we teach now at home. We educate ourselves financially so that we can educate our children about entrepreneurship, about business ownership, about investments and things like that. So you'll go to Walmart and get you a pair of Shaqs and then take your other $200 because you're going to pay $20 or take your other $180 and look at some shares or even play around, look at TradingView and things like that and understand how the stock market works. It's our responsibilities as parents, as aunts, as uncles, as grandparents to break those destructive cycles of not being financially educated, about not knowing how to save money, about not compromising your morals for $1. Like we have to
picking them bad, bitter women. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Shut up. I told you had destructive cycles. Listen, I ain't got time. I'm telling you, your days on this She Shack is definitely numbered. Because I'm telling you,
I'm here for the long ride.
No. Like I was saying though, before I was so rudely interrupted, because you knew what I was saying was correct.
I apologize.
That's why you try to make a joke out of it because you didn't like what I was saying. But
I ain't wrong either.
It's true.
I wasn't wrong either.
Your opinion is your opinion. I didn't say you was wrong. But the bitter women, how do you think? So you think women just grow up bitter? You don't think men play no part?
I did not say that. You did not hear me say that.
Well, how they get to be bitter?
It's a collective thing. Hey, Smokey, you got a sofa for me?
Because you definitely gonna need one.
Oh man!
Every week you got some. You think what? I think you're a male chauvinist.
Ooh, shut your mouth! How can you say that?
I do.
I'm not a male chauvinist.
Yes, you are.
I'm a realist. I'm not a male chauvinist.
And that's what you like to dress it up as.
Yes,
put a tutu on and call it what you want.
Okay, tutu. I'm not a male chauvinist. I'm an equal opportunist.
Equal opportunity for who? Because you remember last week, you was ready to be Susie Homemaker and let your wife go out there and bust the ground.
Equal opportunity.
There ain't no damn equal opportunity.
Right. If y'all can do it, why man can't do it?
I can't do it.
I say y'all, we're not including me. Some of y'all can do it.
Not some of y'all.
Some of us can't do it. I fussed at her. Well, it looked at me wrong. Real quick story.
If this about to be chauvinistic, racist, or anything like that, you can't tell your story.
It ain't racist or nothing like that.
I find this hard to believe.
Working
I need a drink and a joint food.
How many times you gonna say that? You don't even smoke.
Not no more. But it all depends on who got the cook.
But here is my take on it. If me and you working, and I experienced this too. If me and you working at this job in the warehouse, and they give us a job to do. They tell me go do this job A. I'm doing job A. Tell you go do job B. You doing job B. The next day, they tell you to go do job A, and have me to help you do job A. Okay, all right. Why you need help doing job A and I don't need help doing job A if we're equal as far as pay and everything else? That's not male chauvinist. That's being business. If you're doing job, if we both got to do job A if I do job by myself, then you got to do job A by yourself too. That's not being male chauvinist. That's business. Now, granted, if I choose to assist you sometimes on certain things, whatever job A entitled to, that's on me to help you.
I can flip that right up because in the field that I work in, men act like they are it's too sensitive of a situation to go in and perform a care on a female, but you chose this profession. This is what you chose to do, but now I'm obligated as a female to go in there and be there with you so you don't feel uncomfortable. You can flip it around. It's the same thing.
The difference is with that one is though, if a male nurse is messing with a female patient, I would prefer another female at least in the room so that
I got a job to do too. So at the end of the day, I got a job to do too. So it shouldn't be my obligation to have to.
And vice versa.
If you know what it's called, professional courtesy. So at the end of the day, because I know that you are a man, just like because you know that I am a woman, there is such a thing called professional courtesy. It don't got nothing to do with equal opportunity as a man or a woman. Because at the end of the day, if I could show you a professional courtesy, so could you be able to show me the same professional courtesy? It don't matter if the profession is different. Professional courtesy is a universal language that goes all the way around the board. It's so easy to say, oh, well, because you a woman, you need help. But when I'm a man and I don't need no help, that's just garbage. That's just garbage.
Tell you people ain't gonna like it, but that's true.
It's garbage. Because you looking at it on one-sided. A woman can say the same thing. A man decide he want to be a secretary, but you don't know how to hit the keys like the woman do. So now you need some help. Can you help me out with this? Can you help me with this?
I don't mean.
Can you help me do this? It's the same job, though. It's the same job.
But the difference is
the same job.
The difference is learning
and
learning and not want to do it is two different things.
It's the same job. Same job.
I'm not gonna go back and forth with you with this.
You don't have a peg leg to stand on. That's why.
I do.
No, you don't.
I do.
You don't have a peg leg to stand on.
I got a peg leg.
You ain't got a peg leg to stand on. I'm not even doing this. You know what? I'm not about to let you disturb my peace in here. I will not allow you to disturb my peace in this she-shack. Do you understand me? You are not going to disturb my peace in this she-shack.
You brought up the male chauvinist thing.
Listen,
I'm not.
But I mean, in all honesty, and all truthfulness and a little bit of seriousness, it is really important that we figure out the root of some of the behaviors that we possess and that we do some self-work so that we can be the best versions of who we are. Because not our cycles or those behaviors, they become the behaviors of our children, and those behaviors become the behaviors of their children. So it's really important that we do some self-work, some self-reflection, and be the best version of us, so that those things that we didn't like about ourselves, those things that apprehended our growth or maybe stunted our growth in areas, don't affect our children in that way. Like even in the way that you communicate with a parent that's maybe outside of the home or a parent that's inside of the home. You have to speak to each other with respect. You can't tell your child to be respectful, but they constantly observing you being disrespectful. Correct. You can't tell your child stop using that bad language, but they're constantly observing you using the bad language.
Stop cussing.
Exactly. Like, it's like, do what I say, but not as I do. A child's mind is not trained to do that. So it's
Right.
important when you say, how do we just stop these destructive cycles? We start with ourselves. Because if we all focused on just being better versions of us, like you hear a lot of people say, I'm not into therapy. Therapy might be what you need. Therapy might be what you need to get to the root of those problems, those situations, or whatever it is, and cut the root off so that you can start working and learning a different language and a different behavior. Learning how to be fiscally responsible, learning how to save. You know, you can't keep saying, oh, I want to own my home, but you're doing the exact same thing, right, and you're not doing anything different to be a homeowner. Yeah. So, you know, that's how we break these cycles.
I think you got to be more humble, I guess, as far as seeking and put pride aside when seeking growth, and that might help out a lot. Mm-hmm. You know, because a lot of people would say, this guy never did nothing, he never helped me out with this and that, and the first question is, did you ask him? I remember
closed mouth do not get fed.
A football player told him that stuff. He said, everybody kept telling me, don't go talk to this football player. I ain't gonna say his name. Don't go talk to this person. I'm gonna talk to that person because he ain't no good. He ain't gonna help this and all that stuff. Then the guy finally went and asked him, and the guy helped him. He said, well, why are you helping me? He said, the guy, everybody, you got such a bad rep. He said, well, the problem is that nobody never asked. You gotta be humble and ask for help. Ask for information. If you ask me, I give it. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. Mm-hmm. Other guy wound up being a great running back after all that. You know, that's all it is. But we so big on pride.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's really true.
It's sad.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah, that's true. Because I can honestly say, you know, a lot of times, you know, I talk about, you know, I put postings up in my on my Facebook and on my Instagram and stuff like that. Oh,
you gotta speak up.
I put things like that. You can't hear me. Your ears not working now. Them ears work when you want them to work. But I often put things up there, and I'm talking about like how, you know, I've been finding joy in this journey of like, and it's like, well, what's so different now? I'm different. You know what I mean? Like the way I see is different. The way I respond is different. You know, and actually wanting to learn a new way. Actually wanting to not be so boisterous and so defensive and so argumentative and all of those things, and actually, you know, getting to the root of what the anger really was about, you know, and clipping that. And so then once you get to what the root is, and now you done uprooted it, what you gonna do? You gonna leave a hole there, or you gonna plant a new seed? And then once you plant a new seed, what you got to do to the seed in order for it to grow? You gotta water it. But as what is you gonna water it? You gonna water it with faith. You gonna water it with knowledge. You gonna water it with wisdom. You know, you can't just say, oh, okay, I want to be rich. Okay, how you gonna get there? You can't say, oh, I want a husband, or I want a partner, or, you know, I want my household to be peaceful, or whatever they can. How are you going to get there? This is how you break the destructive cycles, and I think all of it, the whole thing, all of it start with God. All of it. That's where it starts. You got to get a relationship with Him, because that's where your peace gonna come from. If you're looking for peace, you know. How do you get there? How do you get there? Prayer. I don't know how to pray. Sure you do. You know how to talk, right? If you know how to talk, you know how to pray.
Preach on, Evangelist Trench.
So at the end of the day, when we're talking about breaking these cycles, it's my hope that what you get from today's show is that it all starts with you. You can have any life that you want. You can have any, you know, person that you want. You can have anything that your heart desires. You can have that. But in order to have it, you have to break the cycle. You cannot continue to do the same thing and expect a different result. Because when you want something different, you have to do something different. It's all in what you put into it. You're going to get out of something what you put into it. If you put mediocre in, guess what you're going to get out of it? You're going to get mediocre out. If you put laissez-faire, that's what you're going to get out. But if you put hard work into something, your hard work is going to reflect what you put into it.
I think you ought to end on that. That sounds good. I mean, it's your show. You end it however you want to end it.
I want all of us collectively to be able to grow. We're building a community of wealth. And if we're building a community, yeah, we laugh and we have fun. Because honestly, people be like, I don't know if they get the impression like, oh, they don't get along. Or, oh, what is it? This at the end of the day, do you not know that if collectively, if we not had been able to come together on things, we wouldn't have been able to grow. Our children wouldn't be able to prosper. Those kinds of things. And that's what, at the end of the day, that's what the whole message is. That's what the whole message is. Right. Breaking destructive cycles. Breaking that poor man mentality. Yeah. Breaking those things. How do you break it, Vet? You got to start with enlightening yourself. You want to know how to be rich? Study the rich. Read books about being wealthy. Change your lifestyle. Change your behavior. Change the way you spend money.
Put pride aside.
Yeah, listen. It starts with small things. Let me tell y'all, because anybody that know me know I love to shop. Love to shop. So, I've been saying that I wanted to get me a pair of dance schools. Remember I was saying I want to get me a new pair of shoes. Dance schools like $150. And I done went to 2 different stores and I was looking at them shoes. I even picked the shoes up, went to the register, and I was like, you know what? I don't need these shoes this bad. I don't even need these shoes. I just want them. And there's a difference. When we start becoming fiscally responsible and start making better decisions, we start to see a change and we start to see things change. So on that's what I got to say about breaking destructive cycles. I hope that you guys enjoyed tonight's show. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Conversations with the Queen. I'm on LinkedIn, Conversations with the Queen. I'm also on Twitter. Like, I know my Twitter a little weak right now, y'all, but I'm still learning how to work it. But I also am on Twitter, Conversations with the Queen. I have Conversations with the Queen from the She Shack. I have a private group on Facebook. You can send me a friend request. You can jump right in. I am so excited about where the She Shack is going. It continues to grow and see success. And it's all because of you guys. It's all because of your support. It's all because of your encouragement. Thank you so much for everything that you do to make She Shack a success. I love y'all for real. Good night.
We'll have our sister cut this off. I guess I gotta do that.
Listen, when you get me an assistant, get me a butler, a maid, all of that.
Can I pick the maid?
No. She gonna have one tooth and a peg leg.
Oh shit. I'll stop this.